Hi there, I'm Christopher Dunnigan. This is HandmadeInVermont.com, and today we're talking about the Hubbardton Forge pendant called the Orion Large. 1364-33. There's a smaller one. There's a 3-light. Check them out. You'll see them under diamond pendants on our site. So let's get into the specifics on this. We're going to be talking about the fixture body first, and that's going to be that whole ring independent of this telescoping rod. So that is 30.9, almost 31 inches tall from the bottom of it to where the rod starts. So that's the top of that ring. 5.3 inches wide. So it's only about that big, and that's going to be that kind of fluted part where the bulb is, the widest point. After that, why don't we talk about what's called overall height. So now we're talking about from the bottom of the fixture to the ceiling itself, including these telescoping rods. If you guys are familiar with Hubbardton Forge, they have a patent on this whole telescoping rod idea, how this one slides into this one like an umbrella handle. Where they come together is called a clutch, and there's a tiny little friction sleeve hiding right here. You can barely see it. It's going to be tightened with this little tiny wrench, and when you get it to where you want it to be, higher or lower, you can tighten that up, and it locks it into place so it won't go up and down anymore. A great way to show you a lot of these details is, if you're on the page for this on our website, look over on the right-hand side of the screen. You see some pull-down menus for choose your length and choose your finish. Scroll down a little bit and you're going to see a link. It's going to say, click here for installations instructions PDF. Click on that for me. Those are the install instructions that are going to be in the box for this, and on top of showing you how this all goes together, the cool thing is it shows you some beautiful technical drawings of how this all goes together again. How the canopy works. This is a 5-inch round diameter canopy. How it's going to go on your 4-inch junction box beautifully. It's also slope ceiling adaptable. There's a knuckle right here at the very top of this where the stem meets the canopy, and allows us to be slope ceiling adaptable to 45 degrees or anything less than that to flat. So we kind of cover you on all those great details. But those install instructions, drawings, I use them all the time, even for myself to look at things. Shows you the lamping and all kinds of great info. So check them out. So now when we're talking about overall height, you're going to have 3 different ranges up in that pull-down menu when you pull it down to choose from the bottom of the fixture to the ceiling itself. So this is going to be, the short is going to be 45.2 to 51.4. Standard is 49.9 to 58, and the long is going to be 58 to 65.4. If you need shorter than the short, so shorter than 45.2 or longer than the long, from the ceiling down, don't forget to the very bottom of the fixture, 65, longer than that, drop me a quick email, sales@HandmadeInVermont.com. We do custom lengths every day. Adds a little time, adds a little money, and unreturnable, but it's easy to do. I need you to email me what that magic number is from the ceiling down that you're trying to get to. Remember that the body of the fixture is going to be about 31 inches tall to begin with, so I can't go dramatically shorter than the 45, but I'm pretty sure I can get something going. A great way for you guys to figure out what you do need is to mock this up in cardboard, and an easy way to do that would probably be to get let's say you got a very thin strip of long cardboard and you just made a hoop out of it, kind of stapled it together or taped it together, and then hung that by a string from the ceiling. So we know this is about 31 inches high, and that's almost the diameter of it as well. So the good thing to do is just make a hoop that's that big and just hang it by a string and bring it up and down and get it to where you want it to be for whatever your application is, and then we'll know what you're looking for. Okay? So after that, why don't we talk about lamping and what's inside this. You're going to be using 2 of these Type B porcelain screw-in sockets, very small Type B bulbs, and you'll notice the picture of it on our site has it using these little G15s. You can also use these little torpedo things. You can use flame tips. As long as it has the smaller top on it, you're good to go, or smaller bottom on it, I guess. You can get these all in LEDs too. As a matter of fact, this is an LED. You can find these, believe it or not, all the way up to 100 watt equivalent. You have to do a little work online, but they do exist. It's a dimmable fixture, so make sure whatever bulb you buy, you're going to be dimming it. No limit when you get into LEDs because of they don't generate much heat, they don't draw a lot of electricity. It's all about electricity and the heat for incandescent when you are limited to a bulb. And the bulb for incandescent is going to be 2 60-watt max. So this is like a 60-watt incandescent bulb. You can get them anywhere, but you can also get these LEDs all over the place too. So you might as well scoot around and look and see what's out there. And I go to I go to Amazon, though I'm not a huge fan of Amazon, but they do have a lot of great bulbs, and that 1001 bulbs is a great place to go, and you can kind of find whatever you're looking for. You can also choose your color temperature when you're doing LEDs, so keep that in mind, okay? This is weighing in at 7 pounds. It's extremely light, so it only has to go on a standard junction box. There's no reinforcements to deal with. When we talk about next, what should we talk about next? We should talk about finish next. So on our site, over on the left-hand side of your screen in the red tabs is going to be a finishes help guide. Click on that for me. I'm going to be in a video at the top of that talking to you guys about the differences in Hubbardton forged finishes, how they can look on different types of forging. And there are 2 different types of forging on this. When you scroll down, there's a chart, and the chart is going to have a whole bunch of pictures of finishes, and you'll notice some of the pictures have the letter A, some have the pictures letter B on them. And I'm going to be referencing that chart in that video. And those little kind of forged, almost like leaves, I guess, like turned leaves that are holding the socket, that are tucked around it like that, that's heavy forging. Meanwhile, all of the other parts like this are not heavy forging, so you can expect to possibly see a little bit of a range of variance, like in the pictures with the A's on them, the modeling on the translucent finishes, on those little cups that are holding the sockets. Meanwhile, the rest of this is going to be more uniform, like the letter B, the pictures that have the letter B on them. And sometimes that's influenced by the humidity in the air. So I'll talk about that in the video up above. Make sure you watch the video, come back down, look at the chart, go back and forth until you pretty much get it all taken care of. When you are done, go back to that chart. You can click on any of those finishes and a big window will pop up showing you samples of whatever you clicked on. If you want to see more of this in more pictures of burnished steel, do that. Natural iron, vintage platinum, and so on and so on and so on. So I think that is it on all the little details. When you buy your Hubbardton forged fixtures from HandmadeInVermont.com, shipping is free to every state except Alaska and Hawaii. There is no tax if we ship out of the state of Vermont. We're the only dealer with 90-day returns and no restocking fees. Some larger items are non-returnable. We always tell you about that ahead of time, and it's usually big things on pallets. So something to talk about. If you're getting a giant thing on a pallet, custom things do not come back either. And again, we always talk about it beforehand, so there's no surprises. We also offer a rush program. Hubbardton Forge doesn't stock anything. That's how you're going to get all your finishes and all your different adjustable ranges to play with. Their normal lead time is 3 to 4 weeks out the door, but we can cut that time in half, and it's very inexpensive. It's per line item, so if you have multiples that are exactly the same of the same thing, that's one line item. So a good way to get all those details would be to drop me a quick email, sales@HandmadeInVermont.com, and we spell out the word Vermont. You can also call 802-446-2400. I'm here every day except Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We have an amazing showroom here in Vermont. We have over 350 Hubbardton forged fixtures, and we're adding to it all the time. We have a What's On Display page. It's over on the left-hand side of your screen, so check it out. Showroom's open every day except Sunday from 11 to 6. And we also have a clearance center. So clearance center stuff is 75% off MSRP. It's an awesome deal. It's returns, discontinued things, and showroom samples. You have to come here to use it. And make sure before you guys come, you measure your ceilings. I'm going to be asking you exactly that. How tall is your ceiling? And don't guess. You want to measure. Big thing. Some people will bring tablets and they'll show me pictures and they'll drawings and they'll bring their plans for the renovations and new construction. Love to see all that stuff, so feel free to bring that stuff too. So I think that wraps everything up. Guys have any questions, let me know. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.